How's it going? What do you know? Another building video, because these are pretty fun and I think it's interesting. So this is the next project. As you can see, we have this nice little 3D printed base for a robot. And we have a few mounts on here for some motors. Any guesses what this is? I'm going to tell you anyway. This is going to be a mini Captain Shrederator model. Of course, has the big, beefier Havoc motor in the middle, and I'm currently printing a shell to cover the whole entire thing. Got some little wheels, just waiting on the motors that are gonna go right in those slots. It is going to be offset motors because I can't really fit both of them into here properly without it being really cramped, which is going to make it a little bit annoying to drive, but also it's Captain Shrederator. That's fine. It typically drives a little bit wonky, but you know, that's fine. The weapon should be pretty powerful because his motor is pretty good, using the Whiplash base for this, because that is a pretty powerful motor and it's pretty good in a small footprint, so this should be pretty fun. Shrederator has probably been my favorite robot, because it was in the first fight I ever watched back in season 2, and because in the recent BattleBots episode, spoiler for it, they talked a lot about potentially retiring, which I'm pretty sure the team came out and said, no, we're not planning on retiring it, but also it depends if BattleBots let them back in, which I would hope they would, because they're such a long veteran of there. But I felt like it was probably time to make a proper model of it, because my previous 2 ones kind of sucked. But anyway, let's see how this goes. As you can see, we have a nice shell now that goes right on top of that motor, and there is the beautiful shell. Lights just went out. But as you can see, this thing is going to be very flat. All the internals are going to be packed down as low as I can, because the top plate is the shell. If this shell comes off, everything will be exposed. So this is going to be it's kind of actually like real full body spinners. This is going to be really fun. But here's the shell. It weighs around 20 grams, which is about the max that these motors can handle. So it should be pretty all right. Okay, a little bit of a progress update. As you can see, we've got some circuit boards slapped on there, and we have the Whiplash internals on there. The motor should be wired up. I'll do a spin test in a little bit once all the wires are secured down. But then we're just waiting on the drive motors, and it should be almost all done. Of course, we have these wheels here for the drive. And looking at the weight of this thing, the average weight of my robots is probably around like 130 grams. This, oh, come on. Very, very light. Like, this is going to be an incredibly light robot, which on one hand is going to be a bit unfortunate, but also could make it kind of interesting. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, it seems to spin decently well. If you're wondering what the base looks like, it's kind of like that. I'm just going to... Doesn't like spin like that at all. But it does seem like it should be pretty low to the ground, and it does look pretty nice. Seems to, maybe not the most, spins up kind of long like the Shrederator. It's also kind of hitting the ground. Hopefully it'll be a bit better on a full charge, but seems to be going pretty well so far. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Once we got those new motors, this should be pretty much done. But yeah, the next step should be probably just painting, because I don't really have much else to do. I kind of have to wait for the drive motors. But I'm going to try to make the shell look nice, and of course basing it off of the most recent season of Shrederator. We'll have to find a way to put the star design on top, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So now I'll get to painting. Okay, so a little bit of time has passed, and I have made the Shrederator shell. And I'm going to go ahead and say this, I am so happy with how this looks. I think this is one of the best things that I have ever made in model form. I think it looks great. The lettering isn't 100% perfect, but I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be. I am super duper happy with this. I think this looks really great. But yeah, still just waiting on those motors. Hopefully the next clip of this should be it all working and done. All right, now is going to be the first spin-up test. You can see it seems to be working pretty well. Moves around as well as I kind of expected it to be, because it kind of sucks because of how the motor layout has to be, but let's give it a shot. Spins up pretty good. pretty nice. It's probably not going to be the most powerful, but in the end, I think it looks pretty nice. Well, it actually does have a good bit of heat to it. It does spin down quite a bit after every hit, but also I guess it's kind of like the real Shrederator where it takes a little while for it to get going and sometimes has spinner issues, so I'll take it. See, it's pretty fun to move around. I think it looks pretty good. So I guess that's kind of it for this video. I mean, there's not really much else to test with this because it's kind of all done. I think this looks pretty great. Probably one of my better models in quite a while. Really happy with this. But I guess with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully we'll see this in a future video.